On this installment of Creative Cabin Fever, I almost forgot myself. We're having the jovial Friday drinks. It's a bit later than usual. I'm a little bit woo. Mine's not alcoholic, but me and the boys from Kill 'em Charlie are going to have a Friday booze up conversation. Hi guys, how are we?
Hello.
Oh, good.
Great.
Really good. Sorry, it was kind of like half gone down when I tried to speak. Good start. Thank you, sir. We look really
Great
professional
start.
already.
I'm loving the merch. So you're wearing Thumper, I'm wearing Foxjaw. We're killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Killing it.
Absolutely. Got to represent the Irish talent.
Absolutely, and today's Bandcamp Friday as well. So anyone who's watching this at home and still has a few pounds, like I would urge you to go off to Bandcamp right now and buy at least one T-shirt from your favorite band, because all that money goes directly to the artist on Bandcamp Friday, which is the first Friday of every month.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I bought a couple of pieces of merch actually today. I bought a shirt from. I bought a jumper from Anna's Anchor, long sleeve jumper that he just released today, and I've forgotten the name of them now. The
Love Buzz.
No, not the Love Buzz. I should have bought them. They have really cool cats, man.
I got a Love Buzz t-shirt today as well.
I was going to do it as well and I forgot.
Great story.
Get on it.
Under Starling, that's it. I bought a t-shirt from Under Starling. Little zinger.
No, fuck it, we're gonna know it now.
You know.
Trying to come across as a nice person here, it's not.
Yeah, I bought 3 T-shirts at the start of the week, and I was like, I'm not going to buy any more. And then I remembered it was Bandcamp Friday, so I bought 3 more this week, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to eat for the rest of the week, but that's next week's problem.
Exactly. I made a rule that I was kind of trying to save money this month and try not to make reckless decisions. Excuse me, I'm going to burp again. But yeah, when it comes to like Bandcamp Friday, you kind of have to indulge, don't you? You have to kind of support the lads. Support the lads and lassies around the country, whoever you're into. So.
Yeah, like there was the time there I was sending like €1 on Revolut to just randomers going, please buy a track off your favorite band, because I was like, even buying a track, like.
Yeah, well, that's all we have on Bandcamp at the moment. Is a bit of well, it's just the singles and the EP at the moment. So, but we'll be working on
the times.
Yeah.
And the EP is fresh out as well, and it's really, really good. So tell everyone at home about the EP and how it's so like brilliant, because it is very changeable and it is all kind of very varied, like sides. Like I was saying, I was feeling some AFI off it, some Sum 41. Like there's loads of different vibes from loads of different decades and genres, and I love that. Like, but it's all still kind of punky alternative. It's great. Like.
Thank you very much. I think we always kind of say that about ourselves, that we're kind of, I don't know, genre bending, is that the way to say it or whatever, but like we all kind of have that base core, like we're fans of that kind of like alt kind of rock, say, you know, punk, bit of indie, but then like some of us are like into more kind of like you said, Sum 41, that garage thing, old school punk, Sex Pistols and stuff, and then more kind of like heavier stuff. So, you know, if someone writes a riff or something, it could be really indie and we'll be like, right, this is going in an indie direction. And then all of a sudden, like someone will throw in like some punk beats into it or something. And all of a sudden it's a new song. We're like, right, we're just going to go with it. And like the 5 songs in the EP, that's literally exactly how it went. Like, I don't think we expected any song to end like how we started. So yeah, so I think that's how the 5 songs go. Like we do have some kind of like old school kind of punk music tracks, and then like in a previous review, I think that was a really good way to put it, that some of our sound can be kind of punky, and then with a bit of a lighter indie flow over it, and indie melodies and indie vocals. So yeah, I think a lot of people like that about our music, and we really like that, because nothing is off limits. Like when we're writing, there's nothing that we won't put into a song, and I think that really shows through the 5 tracks, and we're actually really happy with how the 5 of them turned out, and we feel like there's a good enough kind of core that they do kind of relate to each other in a way as well.
No, absolutely. There's a good flow in the EP. Like all the songs they do merge really well, and it does work really well while still being very different. And it's kind of very effortless the way it all flows. So well done. Yeah, so it's got a really good flow to it. So Patrick, do you want to tell me more about like your vision of this or how you feel about your EP?
Jesus. I'm sorry we never got to put the kalimba on it. I really wanted that. And Snazzy put me on the spot.
Come on, tell us about that kalimba, Pat.
Yeah, Owen had a beautiful kalimba little piece to go with. I think it was it I'm Not Alone or Dark Maneuvers, and it was just, I don't know why we didn't put it in.
Patrick's whole sum up of the EP, the whole sum up is we should have put that kalimba bit in. Get on that wine, Pat. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, okay, we're.
I have to say kalimbas
Alex,
are
it's your turn.
awesome. Like my kid is addicted to
Oh,
kalimbas.
man.
Like he's 4 years old and he goes around playing the kalimba all the time.
Was just going around with the kalimba.
I did touch it
"Lads,
once."
come on, we can put this on here. Well, it inspired you to buy one.
Yeah, it did.
It's because it doesn't take any skill to play. It's just a great instrument.
Well, let's not take anything away from Patrick. Patrick's a very skilled kalimba player. Patrick, I got you, man. Don't you worry. Don't worry, man. Alex, how dare you?
Sorry, I had to call it how it is.
Well, I'm not going to buy one now because this is pointless. This doesn't show any skill.
You can drop it on the floor and it'll sound good.
What more do you want? That's the idea.
That's drumming, man.
That
That's
is literally drumming. Yeah.
Just hit the fucking thing.
Hey,
The fucking
hey, come on. Let's not have a go at Damon.
what
Come on, fight your corner here. I don't need to fight your corner. Come on.
about drumming?
Yeah.
It's very skillful hitting.
Yes, there we go.
It's almost like boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. Equally athletic.
Yes.
Oh, man. I absolutely miss Damon, man. Like, for people who are watching, we like two of us are in Cork at the moment. So I've only seen Alex, who is obviously next to me, and Owen recently. I haven't seen Pat in a long time. I haven't seen Damon since, I don't know, was it
The same time.
about a month now. Miss you, man.
The 4th of October.
Oh,
Shit.
Did Alex have something to add about the EP there before we get completely sidetracked?
Are we getting sidetracked? I hadn't
I
noticed. I'm loving this weird tangent.
There we go. It gets weird.
Yeah, I don't want to make it serious.
Here to promote.
So like what Owen was saying ages ago about the genre bending, what I think is really cool is that like Owen, I would put him down more like the type of music he listens to would be very indie, like mid-2000s indie. And then the kind of rest of us, like especially me and Patrick, we were very influenced by pop punk growing up, like all through our, and George as well, like all through our teenage years, like pop punk was all we listened to. And I think it's cool that Owen was saying like the vocal melodies, because they're kind of coming from him, they're very indie and melodic, whereas the guitarists then are very pop punk in the way we play it. But the coolest thing is not any songs in the EP really, but some of the new songs that we're after writing. I wouldn't really put Owen down as a pop punk listener, but he's after writing the song and the lyrics are extremely pop punk. And I think it's very cool that we're kind of after rubbing off on him. Even though we've known him all our lives, like musically wise, we're after rubbing off on him, and he's definitely after rubbing off on us as well, the way that we write songs. That he's definitely influenced the way I would write anyway and what I would come up with. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like without Owen's heavy indie influence, the EP would be sounding very, very different. Like if Owen was quite a passive character and just kind of went along with what everyone else came up with, it would be a very, very different EP. But thankfully he's not. We kind of driven us to write like I think Alex hit it perfectly on the head. It's quite a heavy, very heavy elements in all of our songs. Like we could try and write a really, really generic indie song, but at some point there's going to be power chords in there. It's going to be quite thrashy. No matter, like even Dark Maneuvers, the first track's really funky and it kind of flows really well. And all of a sudden, at the end, you clearly be like, ah, fuck it, we'll just put a big heavy ending on it. But it works. But it works perfectly.
Yeah, when we put that in first, because I came with the riff and I had that whole kind of funky style to it, and then I let you finish it off because I thought, geez, the lads will do good here. And then you came out with all these mad power chords. You were just pulling chords out of your arse, like. I was like, oh, what are they fucking doing? But then when I heard it, it's actually fucking class. So well done.
Yeah, no,
Listen,
and you've had a pretty interesting trajectory because obviously the band started back in 2011 and it's had many incarnations and many different members, and now you're like the way you are now, and I just think that's great. Like, you know,
Yeah, like the like thinking back, we started the band back in 2011, like myself, George, Patrick, and road drummer Gavin, and our very like it's crazy to think about that. Our first gig, we played in one of the local theaters in Carrick, and we played basically full set without a singer. We had two guest singers. One, my very good friend Owen, shout out to him, and my other friend Kate. Like they sang 2 songs with us. But the rest of the gig,
I don't mean to interrupt, but like, they weren't even instrumental songs. They were Green Day covers. They were 3-chord music for 45 minutes. Can you imagine watching Green Day without a singer?
so effectively what you did was like a rock star karaoke type job where you
except no one
he said no one sang. No one sang. No one was singing along. No one was singing
It
along.
was completely seated.
Oh, it was. We packed it out, but I think people just came to see if we were going to flop, and we didn't
Yeah.
flop. I was
Well-
rooted to the ground. I was so nervous. I was sitting with my Nike Air Max and my long straight jeans, standing there like a statue, didn't move. I was hoping I'd hit those 3 chords. Perfect.
There was actually a fair few people there. Like,
Yeah, there was.
Were you there, Owen?
I was in the crowd, seated.
Laughing at us? So you were. Look at
I
this.
was
Look
not.
at this band, boy.
Guess what else I wasn't doing? Fucking singing, man. Where was
Look
the
at you
intro?
now.
Yeah. Fucking- oh, that's gas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the members that we have in the band now, like we say it a lot, but it's a really nice group of people, really comfortable and just great vibes all around. Like you can obviously like the amount of shit we talk together
Oh.
is insane. So there's never a dull moment, you
Yeah.
know, which is great.
Yeah.
It kind of all shows in our music then that the whole different personalities we have, we can really show it off, which is really like that.
Yeah, like as soon as we brought in Dame as well, to have that kind of, it's just very encouraging character to have around. A solid drummer regardless, but to have someone that's just instantly up for anything and listens to the tunes for what they are, is like, yeah, absolutely, let's just go with the way it's going. I don't even from any of us, there's never really like, oh, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that. We always explore what way we're going, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But work with, like, from my perspective, to work with 4 of the people that are on the same creative level and creative enthusiasm myself, it's really, really, it makes band practice really, really good. And it makes me really excited to write more music for the future, and especially to gig whenever we can.
Like I remember when Damon first came in, like what, 2 years ago now, almost, and he first came in and like we had songs. So obviously we had songs.
So I'm just curious, just sorry to cut you off there, but I'm just curious, did you guys pick up anything new other than the kalimba during lockdown?
Absolutely.
During lockdown, I don't know, not so much. Not really. Not for me personally, anyway. I mean, I've been
Straight kalimba.
getting better at hitting things.
I think that's very
rhythm and in
cathartic,
time
Damon.
sometimes.
So
Yeah, and sometimes it's in time and it sounds okay, so I'm pretty happy with that.
No, they are key aspects of being a drummer. So.
Yeah.
Worked that well. Happy accident. But
I think she meant as a band, Damon.
like new hobbies, are you into gardening lately, Damon, or stamp collecting, train watching?
I've gotten very good at daytime drinking.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, respect. I'm there with you,
Yeah.
bud.
Yeah, I'm elite now. I started about 12 on the dot. Keep going. Black out about 6 or 7.
See, Damon's doing
Get
a
up and
master's,
go again.
so
It's the life.
Damon doing the
Oh
master's.
yeah, and there's a little bit of college in there too. As well.
You have boat watching now as well, down Tove.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I love them boats.
It's true. I do have boat watching. Drunken boat watching is an elite sport, and I highly recommend it.
As long as you do it from
Here.
a safe place, man.
Nah, I'll be right by the water, just teetering on the
Oh.
edge,
Get the
roaring abuse.
get back. Man. Fuck that.
Did you
Pretty
have any
impressive.
habits over lockdown?
Not maybe as impressive as Damon. We did get into the habit of continuing to write tunes, which was nice as a band. That started off, as Damon announced, as day drinking. I would go to George's and we would literally just sit in his shed and drink cans. And then as soon as I'd get a little bit tipsy, he'd be able to coerce me into writing some lyrics, which I very much do not usually approach in an enthusiastic way. Because I either have something and I'm ready to go with it, and so then I'm able to write it down. It's not a long process, or I do not and have to think about it for a long time, and that is a bit painstaking. But we actually got quite a few songs done. Maybe not this lockdown, but the summer lockdown. You know, cans, bit of sun, writing a few tunes, a few fags, like good times. So since the EP, writing new tunes has definitely been easier. They seem to be flowing a lot, I suppose, whether we all just have more time, there's really nothing else to do. I suppose it's easy to take in some internal influences and put them out, you know, into something when you're not dilly-dallying going to work and all these mad things. Like, so unfortunately now I'm working again, which is paying the bills, but maybe the tunes aren't coming as thick and fast.
Can I just ask, with regards to the creative process, it's a question I haven't asked in a while actually. Did you guys note any changes to your creative process? So like at the start of the first lockdown, this is a question that was really resonant with people because they were like, yeah, actually, because I haven't seen someone in a very long time. Before I used to base all my creativity upon experiencing stuff. Now I have to tap into a different creative flow. Have you guys found any changes in your creative process other than well, we don't work anymore, so we have more time?
Well, personally, I actually haven't written a song in a long time, so I'm speaking from a kind of looking outside in. So looking at the lads.
Tell them when the last time you wrote a song.
The last time I wrote a song was probably 2015. Lads bring the songs in. As I said the last time, I perfect them then, so I'm okay with that. But I could, like, after Damon came in and after Owen came in, like, we were going through a very big creative buzz, like especially George. He did music in college, so he was around the guitar the whole time, and the amount of songs he would just approach us with and they were finished was crazy. But I don't know if it's because of the lockdown or where we are as a band currently, the fact that we're all enjoying it so much, but the songs are just, they're coming out and they're blistering. Like, it's almost in a bad way. We have probably 5 songs that we're writing at the moment, like ongoing,
Yeah.
which is a good thing and a bad thing. But definitely, like Owen was saying, the way the creative process is going, of just Owen going up to George's and stuff, there is a lot of songs coming for us at the moment, and they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all good.
The thing with the first lockdown, like we were all obviously with the lockdown, it was very, very strict. So all of us were on the COVID payment. We all when we were the reason why I bring it up is because we all used our COVID payment wisely and all bought new guitars. And had used these new instruments to write more tunes, and like even from things like that, like buying a new guitar, and I can't wait to play this. And it was around the time that we had just recorded the EP, and I think it was during the EP that we all started getting our new equipment as well. And it's just been since recording this EP, it's just been a constant flow of creativity and an enthusiasm to record and write new music. And during the time of the first lockdown, that's like, I know like Patrick bought a new guitar, Owen bought one for Alex, and I know since sitting down with my new guitar, all I've wanted to do was just play it, and even playing it for 20 minutes, I come up with something like a little riff or lick or something, and same with the lads. And it's just, there's never been a time where, I don't think, I can only speak for myself, but I think it's the same for everyone, that when we write something individually, there's never a time it's like, oh, I'm not going to show it to the guys because we won't write it. We literally just show up and we're like, I wrote this, and I want to be like, I wrote this, and I wrote this, and we're like, great. But now we have so many ideas that we need to just sit down and write, right, we need to prioritize and actually like, spend time writing out these tunes rather than just kind of showing everyone what we got. But it's a very positive outlook for the future, because obviously if we had the funding, like we're an independent band and we're unsigned and we're all working part-time jobs, so we can only record and put funding in as we see fit. But if we had the funding, we could absolutely probably do an album, like no issue. I don't mean to be like bragging or anything, but we absolutely could. But it's a good thing. The fact that nothing is prohibiting us is the funding is a positive element. We have songs for days, man. It's grand.
Yeah, like for years, like we're saying, when we first started, we started off as a cover band, and we kind of struggled with our live set because, like, look, every young band, you start off with covers and then you eventually start writing your own. But it took us a long time to start writing songs that we were really proud of and really happy with. But now we actually don't have any covers that we could play together as a 5-piece. It's literally all our own songs, and we have like a 15 song set at the moment, and songs ongoing. So it's just great.
What's mad is Damon's been in the band as of next summer. Damon will be in the band 2 years. We've never gigged with Damon because we've spent from summer up until the first lockdown. We spent not the first time, maybe up to Christmas. We spent getting him up to speed with our old originals. And then by the time it came to January and February, coronavirus was starting to come to the news, and everyone was kind of like, "What's going to happen?" And then the first lockdown came in, so we haven't even gigged with Damon yet, which is mad to think about.
Yeah, I think we're really missing gigs, because a lot of the time, after we won Battle of the Bands, I suppose, we were pretty quiet before that. That was in CIT, and then we had a kind of good run of doing a good few gigs and maybe not writing songs. So we were kind of gigging a bit regularly, but we weren't kind of adding to our set, and we were doing a lot of covers and stuff still. So the way it is now, like, we're kind of ready to go, but we can't go, like, so there's no gigs, so it's a bit of a dose. So I think we'd just be really excited for when the gigging can come back, somewhat regularly, because like it'll probably be the most prepared we've ever been and the most ready to go, like, so I think we're all really excited for that to happen eventually. And I think we'll be able to give it a good belt then, like, so that's the plan for us, whenever that may be. Like, if it's any longer, I suppose we could put another little recording or another EP in the mix, but hopefully we'll be able to gig as soon as, like.
Yeah, but everyone's in the same boat, right? There's none of us able to do what we planned. Like, if you think for 1 second I thought I would have a podcast, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tucker really excited about our future.
Yeah. There's another interview where my son went mental having like pillow fight with me in the background. So this is nice, a little Armstrong with the dog.
Don't worry, Tucker. We're putting out no music soon, man. Right? Calm down. Please don't kill the interviewer.
Oh, he's got it.
But that's it. Like March hit us all. Like, I had a massive event planned that had to be cancelled. Then I had all these massive plans for Viking. Then every single one of them had to be cancelled. I had all these venues on board. I was doing great things, and everything was gone. And like the world as I imagined it, or the world as I saw it, had to be gone. And then all of a sudden, I'm 83 interviews deep in a podcast I never expected I'd be doing. It's just crazy, like.
Yeah.
Jesus, 83, that is some going.
6 months, yeah.
Jesus. Congratulations and fair play to you. That's a lot of graft.
Yeah, and that's just the Creative Cabin Fever ones, because I also do some for a local gallery where I interview the artists in there once a week. And then I also do guest spot appearances and other podcasts around the country and work with a network of people. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. I love hearing that when people start to network in times like this as well, like people together and trying to put out creative processes and trying to put out content for everyone. because we know that the government's not giving us enough funding to keep things going. Although there has been a grant recently to keep venues open, which is a step in the right direction. But yeah, to try and for us is like we're only doing as a more as a hobby, but still taking it rather seriously. To try and to put out content in times like this is extremely difficult. Trying to create buzz for a band that can't gig, it's not impossible, but it is hard work. Trying to get people to listen to your stuff without coming to see you live and just on their own initiative to try and listen to your stuff is very, very hard to try and get.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so important for people like me to actually do it out of love and passion. Like there's a few of us in the country, there is, but it's just about giving bands and artists a different voice, because I think a lot of the time your music's not all who you are. Like you put most of it in it and your soul is definitely tangible in it, but there's more to you, and right now that more is all that matters because you can't showcase a gig. So
yeah. What's going to be really cool as well, one of the reasons why we can't wait to gig as well is like someone could listen to the EP and they take away whatever from it. But when, like, it's happened to me so many times when I go to see a band I love, and it might be a song that I like, but I just kind of pass over it, and then I hear it live and it just changes it completely for me. So it's going to be really cool to see people's takes on the songs live as well. There might be a song that they kind of brush over when they listen to it, but then when we play it live, they're like, oh, that slaps. So that we can't wait for that, because that's always good to get a different reaction as well. But it's going to have to wait.
I don't think it'll prohibit us from what we're doing, though. I think we all really love just kind of writing and creating new music. I think say obviously it would be very annoying if it did, but say lockdown continued for another few months after this whatever's left 4-week process. I think there's no reason why. Obviously, given restrictions and as best as we can do to our capabilities, is try and record some more music and put it out for people. That's why not. We've got plenty of it. Like, might as well put it out, and even if it gets 2 listens, is more music to put out and be proud of. So
yeah, like as I was saying, we're a very tight-knit group at the moment, and the last EP process was great. Like, it wasn't draining on any of us, so it's not like we don't want to go back into the studio. We can't wait to go back in again and record again, because to us, like, that was, for me anyway, it was one of the highlights for the year, just getting 6 days with the lads in the studio, chilling, making our own music. Just great.
Although, like, it's really like, obviously I'm venting on behalf of many musicians around the country right now, but it is so frustrating to not be able to gig because people haven't heard this new ensemble of Gillan and Carly. Like, we haven't gigged with Damon, man, and like it's so frustrating. I really want people to hear us. Like, the last time we done a gig was probably 2018. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
2018.
Yeah.
Jesus,
People haven't heard us play live in 2 years. Like,
yeah, like
so
I was really lucky. Like, I had a music festival on the 1st of August, and then I had 3 gigs in September. Like,
Yeah. Oh man, I had loads of gigs booked for the last summer. They've been pushed back to this summer now. Probably going to get pushed back again. So.
Did you see Independence is after being?
Yeah, no, Patrick, we're not going to Indie, bud. We're getting refunded.
I'll get me money back and I'll buy a bottle of wine.
Spar.
That's well wine, brother.
What wine is it?
They don't sell cans. What's that?
What wine is it?
Cheap white wine.
Santa Helena.
Oh.
It's beautiful, actually. For €8, you can't go wrong.
Since we started recording, it's going very quickly. Tuesday.
Mine is a non-alcoholic Tuesday from Grady's Yard, because I got my burgers there tonight before the interview, and I got my non-alcoholic beers.
Perfect.
And you're drinking it on a Friday.
Oh.
You missed the chance there. You missed the chance there.
It is what it is. I hope the burgers were good. I myself work in a butcher's, so respect.
I used to be a fishmonger, so respect.
There we go. There we go. Hey, we're on the same team, lads. You're not, so.
Hey, fair. I'm a barista. I work for Costa in South Tip. I make coffees all day. It's really very fun and therapeutic.
Note to Costa, George flings me out free coffee every day.
Well, that's my job done. If anyone wants to employ me, I will be putting my CV on LinkedIn and link in description. Thanks, Rebecca.
Fiscally irresponsible. That's what I was.
You better give him free meat as well. On.
Oh,
Oh, that can be taken so wrong.
there we go.
So wrong. The what was it? The fan fictions of Killing Charlie will be floating out between me and Owen. Give him
God,
that free meat.
whatever poor creature writes those. Fucking hell. It's gonna be great.
Poor creature, they'll be
Poor
fucking
filth.
loving it, man. That'll be me.
Right. 2 more questions tops before we go, and this goes completely crazy because it's great crack. We're having some crack, right? So we're missing gigs. Can you guys name your best gig memories, whether it's a Kill 'Em Charlie gig or a gig that you went to that blew you away, just to get people back remembering what gigs are like?
Okay, so are we gonna go in sequence for
Do
once?
it.
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna follow the rules once. Definitely, best Kill 'Em Charlie memory was playing at Valley of Arts. So that was like a little independent music festival organized by LIT students in the back arse of nowhere in Tipperary, in near a place called Dundrum in Tipperary, in a little forest. And like it was so artsy and cool and really, really well done. And it was all like independently set up. But we got there at like 2 o'clock in the evening, or maybe we got there at 12, and then they told us we'd be on at 2. And then we found out it was 2 a.m. and we were like, oh fuck. And then they had no food van, but all the bands got free cans. So we had free cans till 2. And then we got up and we were all pretty pissed, but I was exceptionally pissed. And I couldn't, for the life of me, I was like, I don't know the words to any song ever. So for the whole hour before, the lads were like, right, you know the words, blah, 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 shut up, man. And I was like, no, I can't go on. And then I got on the stage and I was like, woo, this is the best day of my life. I was like, I know all the fucking words. But like, it probably sounded so bad because you're so drunk.
And you didn't know the words.
Nah. There were words. There were words. But
Yeah, but do you know what? You progressed a lot as a band, because there was one time you were like a Green Day instrumental covers band, and
Yes.
now you might not have remembered the words, but at least there was words.
there were words. There were
There you go.
vocals.
There were words, man.
We laid
Progression.
down the vocal tracks. It happened. So yeah, but the whole day was crazy. And then like just getting up and playing, and like there was such a good energy in the crowd and at the whole festival. It was an unbelievable day, but like it was such a funny story as well. So that's always going to be like a personal favorite of all of ours, I think.
Patrick?
I'll jump in with that energy thing and go for, I don't know whether it was the final or the thing before the final of the Battle of the Bands, when, oh, my screen's gone. But we were on last, so the crowd were fucked. And there was a big crowd, so it just seemed like a really big gig, and it was really nice to see people actually enjoy themselves. So that's going to stand out to me. That's when, was it Alex or Owen crowd surfed for the first time?
Owen crowd surfed, and I jumped into the crowd with my guitar. It was definitely our most rock star moments.
Yeah.
I think we've ever had.
We've never even attempted to go back to anything as stupid as that. That was excellent.
I felt so cool. I felt so professional because we played like I Bet That You'll Good Dance Floor as our last song. We were the last band on. So Owen was crowd surfing during the breakdown bit, and I jumped in and I was playing, and just one of the guys in the other band, he's really, really nice. They were called Red Sky Plains. He was just like holding my lead and holding people back from me. So I felt so professional. I was just like, this is what Rockstar is.
The only reason I crowd surfed was because someone had offered to hold me up. So I was like, okay, I can't turn down a lift. And like, there's no way I would attempt to crowd surf at maybe non-offering crowd, because like that would be dangerous and I would not be confident.
Where are you, Damon?
I have no Kill 'Em Charlie memories yet, unfortunately, as we mentioned. So I'm going to be the first sad sack to be like, here's a gig I went to that was really good. I went to Bob Dylan and Neil Young last year, and that was phenomenal. That was a great day out, and I met Paolo Nutini as well, which was great fun. And we're best friends now.
We're all
Does he
very
have his new
jealous.
shoes on?
I do. I do.
Boom. Good shout. Thanks, man.
Very good friends.
Let you go, Frank.
I'm gonna go with a gig I went to as well. I went to Foo Fighters in Slane a couple of years ago, and it was my first time going to Slane. And if no one has been, it's a wreck. Like it's how many hours up there, and then you also have like a 40-minute walk into the venue. But like that day, the Foo Fighters were playing, Kaiser Chiefs were playing, Ash were playing, and the Stripes were playing. And I remember just walking in, and when you come into Slane, you walk in the top and you can just see the castle on your right on the stage, and just it's absolutely amazing. So Hosier was playing that day as well.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, but I just remember like I'd be an Ash fan as well. Like so I remember just getting in there and we got our pit wristbands. So we were just chilling on the grass, having a few beers, watching Ash, and then just that night it was amazing. They opened up with Everlong, which is crazy. Like that would be, in my opinion, one of their best songs, and it's a closer. Like, could you imagine opening with that? And it was just, I will always just remember it raining, and I'm looking back and just seeing the big sea of people. It was one of the biggest gigs I've ever went to, and if not the biggest. So I'll always remember that.
Yeah. Well, my favorite with Kill 'Em Charlie is we opened up for a band at the time of when we won Battle of the Bands. We opened up for another band who had won the UCC Battle of the Bands, Drivers to Peanuts. And at the time we had, yeah, Pat, you know, bruv, you know, we opened up for them, and it was great because we're good mates with the band, and like one of them stayed in my van that night at Valley of Arts. The drummer stayed in my van, and it was just great. We played to a really big crowd because they had a really big following, and it was such a good gig. Like it was just such an unreal gig in Cypress Avenue in Cork, and then we got to watch the guys play. And there's a video that they put up of their biggest hit, Waiting on a Bus. For anyone who hasn't heard it, I highly recommend you go listen to Drivers to Peanuts. But they put this video up of them playing it live, and halfway through the song they pan to the crowd, and it's just a video of me bollocks basically in the front row. And I'm 6'6". I'm gangly as fuck. Like my arms are just like waving up and down and screaming at the bassist JJ the lyrics back to him like he doesn't know them. Like I was screaming at him. Oh my god, I love that. That was such a good gig. And then the night afterwards was great, and the celebrations was fantastic. And yeah, apart from Kid and Charlie, I was like loads of bands are going to see. I went to Reading Festival last summer. That was fantastic. But I think Biffy Clyro at the 3 Arena was for me. That's probably my favorite. Yeah, I've seen loads of big ones like Green, like all my childhood favorites like Green Day, Foo Fighters, Biffy Clyro. But the second Biffy gig I went to was at the 3 Arena after the Wolves of Winter tour. And I just remember being dehydrated for about the last half of the gig, and then holding all my energy for Stinging Bell, which was my favorite tune. And they played it last, and the mosh pit when everything comes in at the end, I think I genuinely broke someone's ankle, and I felt so bad, but I didn't care. It was fucking fantastic. Have you ever been to, like, if everyone's been to a Biffy gig, I don't know if anyone knows this as well, outside the mosh pits, it seems to be all of the mothers of the people in the mosh pits. It's just people that want to be in it, but they're not, because they're like not too old, or they just don't want to. But every time I fell out of the mosh pit, there was always someone who could have been my man going, "You're right, love." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going back in." Like, "Just go on then." Like, "I will." It's great.
Biffy fans are great.
Biffy fans are great,
Biffy
man.
fans are
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, that would be mine. Yeah,
Shout out to Biff, man the Biff,
on the Biff, on the Biff.
Now, I actually saw Ash when I was 14 years old in Switzerland, where I grew up. Like, that's going back 21 years.
Mm.
So they were in their early days back then, right?
Yeah,
so that was great
early
crack.
Ash. Yeah,
Are they still going?
yeah, Ash is still
Yeah.
going. The girl, the guitarist, the lead guitarist, she's not there anymore. It's just the three of them, but so great.
But they opened up for Pulp, which was followed by Texas.
Boy.
I would love to see Pulp. Love to see Pulp.
It was mental. And I went to Slane once as well, and once only. And it was also to see the Foo Fighters. However, the lineup was extra different because we had PJRV, the Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh my god.
Get the
Sick.
session.
Oh my god.
I was
flex.
16 back then, so
That-
that's 19
that-
years ago.
That Red Hot Chili Peppers gig at Slane is just, it will go down as history.
That's one of their
As
favorite gigs as
one of
well.
The best gigs ever. Like, it's all on YouTube and
Yeah.
it's just amazing. John Frusciante is like my guitar god, so.
I like to say Flea is my guitar god, but it's Mike Dirnt from Green Day. Gotta go with your roots. I love that man so much. I love him so much, and he plays with a pick. I know for all the bassists watching this going, "Oh my god, you play with a pick." I do. I'm sorry, but it's because of Mike Dirnt. He's a king. I will not have any arguments on this.
Like when we're talking about the Chili's, like I'm all about Dave Navarro.
Sorry, John.
I
something else.
would spend days licking things off that man.
Here we go.
I feel the same as John. I just want to brush his hair.
Okay, this is taking a weird turn.
Jesus.
So yeah, EP out now. Kill Charlie.
And on that bombshell.
Okay.
You know, guys, we could just leave it there.
Probably for the best.
Dignity for the next one.
No, but well done on the EP. It's really great to meet you and connect in this weird time. And I have no doubt we'll be seeing each other again in the future. Is there anything you'd
Okay.
like to add to the interview before I stop recording?
People need to check out Viking Promotions more because Rebecca is a fantastic interviewer. Seriously. I know these are the dark times, you can't be putting on gigs, but my goodness, you are a fantastic interviewer. So thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so
very
much.
Rebecca.
But yeah, Kill 'Em Charlie. I
Much
hope this works for you because it does for me. He's out now. And keep an eye on us. We'll have some more content coming for you before Christmas. And God willing, after Christmas.
There we go, lads.